Hey, what's going on? I'm Joby. I'm the DM for The Familiars. And we're here coming at you with a whole new episode with these just bunch of this cast. I can't talk enough about this cast. You know what? Before we get into it, let me introduce them. I want to go one by one, and I'm going to start with, you guessed it, my friend, Alex Henderson. She's playing Rooster, Dragonborn Barbarian. We've got Austin. He's Thibodeau. He's a human bard. We've got...
Follow me on Instagram.
Chowder, Warforged Sorcerer. We've got Worthy. She's a tiefling and a cleric. We've got John Doherty. He's playing non-player characters. I text him late at night about D&D. And we've got Zach Appleman on the group text playing Justin, the half-elf ranger. Ladies and
Zach,
germs.
you're frozen.
He's dead.
You're muted.
We are the Familiars. We're in the middle of Storm King's Thunder, and we're just outside. Well, we're pretty far away, actually. We're about a few days away from Golden Fields, en route to Grood Haug. So I think that we should start a little bit of a recap. What say you? I say
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So, last time on The Familiars, the party awoke to the telltale signs of a gathering storm. Heavy gray clouds rolled in overhead, promising rain later in the day, and storming emotions boiled over amidst the group itself.
Ooh.
Oh.
Rooster pinned Justin against a tree when they thought the ranger had slighted Worthy, but Justin countered with the accusation that one of his own, countered with an accusation of one of his own. This is great writing. That the death of Miros and Orin was the Familiar's fault. He knew Orin and Miros to have battled hill giants before, and the only difference was their fighting companions. Little was resolved as the party set out on the Grey Day's journey, northeast through the Desserin Valley. And after cresting one of the more sizable hills, they were presented with a view of the surrounding area and a choice: to continue to follow the path that the giants had cut through the open plains of the Desserin Valley, or to head along the banks of the Desserin River. Not far up the river, there stood a lonely tower. The wind carried the sound of a deep and sorrowful wail. Of course, the party chose the tower. They convinced Moog, the hill giant, to come out and speak with them. And they learned that Gu, the leader of the hill giants, had stolen all the hill giant husbands, including Moog's husband, Rook. It had started to rain, so the party decided to rest inside the tower, having won the favor of Moog. Rooster remained outside. Something about the rain felt right. The rest went inside, immediately bathed in the glow of blue lights. So let me pull this up here so you guys can see exactly what you're looking at. Rooster, you are outside, and the rain has really started coming down for you, and it's about midday, and you're scanning the horizon. Make a perception check. Okay, got a 4. There's a haze that has started to rise off of the Desserin River and has started to make its way around the surrounding landscape, and it's just hard to make much of anything out. Inside...
Can I yell into the team really quick and just say,
Sure.
It's super hazy?
All of you don't hear anything.
Okay.
But
but just hold on. As Moog comes in the tower, he says, "Okay, this now that Moog friends with you, Moog show you where he live. This is Moog's tower. It's okay. I mean, it's not that great. Whatever, it's fine. But this is my house."
So,
Worthy turns to the group and translates all of that.
and
Very,
there's
very fine adobe, Moog.
Yeah, and Chowder, what you're noticing is this imposing
Come on.
stature inside the tower. There's the sense of any kind of ruin that you guys saw coming in, it's gone. And there's this flagstone tiled floor, and in it is inlaid this large design of triangles and circles intersecting each other. And there are these 3 blue globes that give off a pulsing glow to the space. And the stairs, you can see, start just at the entrance, and they spiral upwards towards the 2nd floor. Moog is already on her way up the stairs, and you can see at the top of the stairs, it goes up to what must be the 2nd floor, and the light shifts, and out of the opening at the top of the stairs, you see that it is a faint orange glow. What would everybody like to do? Moog is making her way up the stairs, ducking her head under, and about to head up.
Moog is gonna go upstairs to my room. I'm feeling kind of tired. I'm gonna go lie down.
Do I recognize the symbol on the floor?
Make a history check. You can choose whether you want to make a history check, or you can, after this roll, you can apply either history or arcana.
Can I assist with Arcana?
Absolutely.
Or-
So go ahead and roll with advantage, Worthy.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
15.
Ties the difficulty
And-
class.
Yeah, 15.
Worthy, you take a look, and you definitely have to dust off some metaphorical tomes in the back of your mind, but you did your homework in Baldur's Gate and felt like you needed to do a lot extra being a tiefling, and you definitely brushed up on your elven history, and you know this to be an ancient symbol of a sect of the elves that are from Illifarn. It's an ancient race of elves that, predates almost everyone but the dwarves. So you recognize this tower to be of elven make, and it's been here for a very, very long time.
Right. I turn to the group and I say, all right, Moog's going up to her bed and we're allowed to stay. I think we're allowed upstairs, we're allowed down here, so...
What time of day is it? Are we in need for a rest?
You've been traveling about half the day, so it started to rain, which is one of the reasons that I think folks decided to make it inside, but you're not in need of a long rest. No, you could push on for longer today, if you wanted to.
And how far are we from the Groodhog?
You don't know.
Wait, but the storm is still going. Didn't you say that if we didn't find shelter, we were going to get exhausted? So start taking points of, like, we don't want to walk at the moment, right?
No.
Right now with the rain, you will have disadvantage on perception checks.
Okay.
And internet, all of you hardcore fans out there, if I said the other thing, put it in the chat, because that's my bad. But I'm gonna go. Right now in my notes, I have it that it's about a half day and the internet will tell us if I'm wrong. I think you guys are traveling about a half day. Yeah.
Worthy turns to Justin and says, "You said you'd rested in this tower before. Know anything about it?"
I'd rested outside the tower, not inside. There's usually a large stone blocking the door. Joby DM, how much would Justin know about these symbols and this magic in here?
Well, you can go ahead and make a history check with advantage.
All right.
Okay, go ahead and make another one. Let's see how high you get. Okay, 17.
That was a 17.
You know that these symbols below your feet are related to the arcane. So this immediately registers to you as some kind of wizard's tower. And that these symbols that you're standing on were a type of prayer for good luck when studying when being in the study of magic and the weave.
I say to the group, what do you all want to do? We can try and convince Moog to seek out the rest of the giant wives, try and build us an army, or we can press on, just us and her.
Well, Moog's bedding down for a nap, so if we want the former, we have some time to kill.
Yeah, I'm curious about this tower that she's been holed up in.
Worthy turns around and heads for the stairs to follow Moog up to the second story.
I'm going to follow Worthy up there.
Do the same.
These these like blue lights, are they are they common, or are they kind of unusual? Would they be to me?
I'm gonna say for you, Chowder, make an Arcana check with advantage.
We got a 10, a 6.
10 and a 6. With a 10, you recognize these as fairly. Oh gosh, I don't have the spell in front of me, but it's like they're glow globes, they're drift globes. I'll look up the spell, but it's something that burns forever. It's something that you can just sort of light and have on, and especially for someone like a wizard who is possibly in possession of a tower. Yes, this would be a fairly common bit of magic that would go burn for a long time.
All right. No big deal. Hold up, guys. I'll catch up with them then.
Fantastic. So,
where's Rooster? Is Rooster still outside?
Rooster's still outside.
Rooster got so mad at Justin.
Rooster has the Warhammer and their Great Hammer, and is just like doing like.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna. Okay.
Just like doing cool moves, like practicing cool moves and being like, yeah, they'll like that.
All right. Oh, you all go on ahead. I'm gonna go outside and just stand by Rooster for a moment.
Okay.
And do we don't hear anything that's happening outside, right? I mean, as far as we know.
Yeah. Nope.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, you scared me. Sorry about that. I was just practicing my cool moves and making sure my muscles are getting bigger.
I could see that. Very cool.
Thanks. Maybe not as cool as Justin, but you know.
Well, listen. Between you, me, and the Ravens, the only thing I've really seen him do is pull back on that super cool arrow that you and I gave him.
Right.
But you know what? I don't. He has a different style. He's maybe not as familial as us, But who would be? We're the familiars. I think it may be a difference in personality, but I think he can be trusted. He hasn't shown us to be on anyone's side but ours.
Cap, can I tell you something?
Please.
Where I came from, I was an orphan. And I was adopted by royalty. And when you worship the god Malar and you're part of these tribes in the north, you know, you just need to survive. And there was one winter where we were not surviving. And my brother asked me for help. So I helped him. But the little people, the ones that had the least chance of surviving, became the bad guys. And the most vulnerable, the children, you know? And I did things I did not want to do. And so I ran. I ran down here. And to run away from that, because that is not Rooster. I thought I was serving my god, I thought I was serving my brother. But I think Justin might be right, that I am bad luck. And that I am bad luck for you. For you all, and I don't know if I should be here, you know? I don't want to hurt you. And I don't like guys that beat up on little people. Even if they are really negative tieflings that like are really, really spiky emotionally. So I don't know, I just want to smash some shit, you know? But I don't know if I should be here with you all.
Well, Rooster, if you weren't here with us all, then, well, I don't think any of us would be here. I think that we would have long been done in by some giant or ogre, or what are they called? Eatons?
Yeah, they call them Eatons.
Pittons.
Or I don't know, really. It's like I don't speak that language. That they
Yes,
put
well,
up in.
regardless, my point is, how can you be bad luck, Rooster, when I've already lost count of how many times you've saved my life? Heck, everyone in the familiars. Now I have a lead on finding my wife and daughter, and you're right here beside me. I don't think that I would have found the road to lead me here if it wasn't for you. So how can you say you're bad luck? It just doesn't compute.
Okay, you're right, and maybe I'm just evil. But I'm not bad luck, so that's good. We can get into that later. I feel better now. Thanks, Cap.
I'm glad, Rooster. Here, come on inside. You'll catch a cold.
No, I won't. This is like really tepid for me. This is like kind of tropical, but like I'll come inside because I was kind of like hoping someone would come out and see what I was up to. So yeah.
Oh, good.
Kind of
good.
played right into my hand there, Cap.
Rooster, would you like a hug?
Yes, I would.
I give Rooster a hug.
Great.
Thanks, Cap.
Come on in.
Okay.
Okay.
And I go back to catch up with the Moog chatters.
Cool. I go up too.
Great. You guys head up, and as you enter a bare space, except for the two statues that are standing in front of a raised pool of sorts. But instead of water, there is this faint mist that rises off this pool of orange light. So there are these two statues that are standing in front of this this pool of light, and looking into the pool of light, you see two more stone figures, And you can now see that, like, where the light is coming from, there's a larger globe here that's emitting this kind of pulsing orange glow. And the two figures in the pool both have their hands on it. So it's like they're structurally holding this globe. And I'll say Cap and Rooster, as you come up the stairs, you see Worthy just staring directly at these two figures. Because where the stone heads would be, you can see that there are two skulls that have been placed. And the two skulls have horns coming out of them, looking pretty close to unmistakable tiefling skulls. So, I'll show you what we're looking at. And that's it. Moog has moved up, and you can see Moog also just kind of basking in this orange glow. There's one more structure. There's a stone pillar in the center of the room. And I'll say coming up the stairs, you would see it. Coming up the stairs, you see that on this side, the northwestern side, is a door.
Hey, Moog, what's with the light?
Worthy
What?
translates.
I don't know. It was like this when Moog found it. It was glowing like that. I don't know who made it, but this is where Moog lives. It's okay. It's it's not the best room, but it's not the worst. It's whatever.
Can I detect any? Is there heat coming from the orange?
Sure.
What's coming off?
Make
it?
another Arcana
Sound?
check, Cap.
Say, what is this thing? 7.
Worthy
Yes.
walks over to Justin and says, "You said you knew someone who traded in ground-up tiefling bones. Friend of yours do this?"
No. None of those people would do something like this.
Cap with a 7. You haven't seen anything like this. I'll say that the globe itself resembles what you saw downstairs, but it's bigger, and you can't quite place it, but there's something different. There's no heat coming off of it, I'll say that. But there was no mist downstairs.
Right.
You can't tell.
Can I perceive anything about how a clue? Is there any clue or indication of where these skulls could have come from, or why they were put here? Anything?
Medicine check, please.
Oh my gosh.
26.
Wow! 20!
Was that a natural 20?
That was a
It
natty.
was a
It's a
natural
natural
20,
20.
and I have +6 on medicine.
Oh, but checks don't matter, I guess. All right.
I
No,
know, but
you're
it's
correct.
always
yeah.
exciting.
But it's always nice to see that.
It's always
Always
fun.
nice. It's always fun.
Yeah, it feels like you won something.
Yeah.
Worthy, this was a medicine check, right? You have been transfixed by these two skulls, and I think with that, what you see is that they are old. There is not a trace of flesh on them. They almost resemble the stone on which they have been put. But with this close bit of investigation, you can see that they are resting on what looked to be, at one point, a different statue. So, someone or something looks to have taken the existing heads off of these statues and replaced them with these skulls, albeit hundreds, if not thousands of years ago.
Hey, Moog. You ever touch that ball thing?
Worthy translates.
Well, no, Moog never touches a ball, but Moog has other balls that Moog touches, and then Moog takes from the corner of the room a ball made of mud and sticks, dried mud and sticks, and it's about 5 feet in diameter, and he hands it to you. She hands it to you, excuse me, and she says, "This is Moog sculpture. Moog makes sculpture of the moon. But Moog look out window at night and make sculpture, but sometimes Moog think, what's the point of making sculpture if there's no one to see it? What is art without an audience? So if you take sculpture, Moog very happy."
Rooster,
And Moog hands you the sculpture.
Make a strength check, Rooster.
Okay. Could you tell Moog that I too have opinions about art, and that has Moog ever seen all the gold in Waterdeep that is in the, what is it, strength?
Strength
Oh,
check.
please. Where is my strength? I only see saving throws.
Worthy, in the meantime, turns to Moog and says,
Oh, I see it.
Rooster likes art. Rooster likes Moog's art.
Rooster, this thing is so heavy. Rooster, everyone is looking, and you're trying to hold it up, and it just, you have to either, let it go, or it's going to crush you.
I let it go towards the statues.
Great.
And I go, I love it.
Let's just see where you're standing. Okay, great. You let it go towards the statue, and it just lands on the ground next to you. Thibodeau and Maxine jumps back, and then looks to Moog and says, "It's lovely. Yes, it's very nice."
That's good. Well, if you like Moog's art, Moog will make little balls for the little people, because you're Moog's best friends now.
Thank you, Moog.
We're your best friends.
Thank you, Moog.
Moog, how close are the other giant wives?
On the way to Grodhog. There's a cave that Moog knows where the other giant wives are. He's on the way to where Goo is. Less a few hours, maybe.
Could you take us there?
To the cave with the giant wives?
Aye.
Okay, but they're very dangerous.
Oh, they're not friends of yours? You don't have little quilting circles?
They're very, how you say, defend territory. It's everyone in its own space.
Worthy has been translating, just much like a UN interpreter. Conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, Thibodeau doesn't speak giant?
No, not a lick.
But you gave the big speech on the ramparts to the giants.
I was to a bugbear.
Oh.
I was talking to a bugbear. They usually speak common.
Oh, got it.
Listen, can I take a look at this door that's up here in the corner?
Absolutely. Thibodeau.
Excuse me. I'm gonna just go take a look-see over here before we head out.
Take a look at this door and come up right next to Moog.
Excuse me.
And you can see that this door has much more of an ornate feel than the entrance to the tower. And the doorknob looks to be gold, and there are these intertwining gold leaf vines that have been inlaid in the wood. It has a curved top to it, and there is some writing in it that looks to be Elvish.
And I do read Elvish. I don't know if you know this, Jeston, but I do speak a little bit of Elvish.
Congratulations.
Thank you. They say the Thibodeaux had elf blood in them some point way back. So.
Oh no.
You read Elvish, and I'm just pulling up my notes here because.
Let's see here. What's this say?
See.
Fun little night in the woods. A few generations back.
That's right.
I've got a little sphinx blood myself. Just a few drops.
Thibodeau. Let all who enter this home without the consent of its owner burn for 99 years in the depths of Nessus and freeze for 1,000 more in the icy wastes of Kania.
Huh. That's a hell of a welcome, Matt.
Worthy walks over and reads it as well, and just has this moment of recognition and says to the group, Destiny had the same curse written on her door back in Nightstone, but in Infernal.
Does it come from a sort of a sacred text, or is it a creed of some sort? Where does it come from?
Have I ever come across it before, DM?
Checking my notes. When you saw it, it was written in Infernal.
Mm-hmm.
This is written in Elvish, which is interesting. And make a history check.
But it's word for word the same.
Yes.
Interesting.
16.
So, with a 16, this, like, rings a bell of, like, something that, like, almost like a folksy saying to ward off bad juju from, like, from the Nine Hells. You know? Like,
Can I knock on the door?
absolutely.
This is so spooky.
Nothing comes back.
You want me smash it?
Worthy, are these words like a curse? Is there magic or danger inherent just in the words themselves?
I don't know. I tried researching that in Nightstone, in Zephyros's castle. I've heard them before, but I hope you know that I don't exactly have much history with infernal curses.
Sure.
So this could be just like a live, laugh, love sign. I'm gonna try and just open up the door.
Worthy turns to the group and says, "There's something you should know first.
Yeah.
Back in Nightstone, I talked to Destiny. And I already told you that she told me about the Church of Lathander and the Awakened.
Thibodeau's not really listening because he already knows all this.
But, because he's a spy. But what I didn't tell you, she was a former member of the Church of Kellenvor and in my presence made an oath to Asmodeus.
Don't say.
I don't know what's happening, and I do not understand it. But if this old curse is written in Infernal and is a ward against evils from the Nine Hells, I just don't like that it was written in her house in a language they could read.
Is the door locked?
You put your hand on the door and it is locked.
Yeah, nuts.
Oh gosh, now I'm all.
Yeah, I really want to get
now
in there, man.
I really want to see what's behind the door now.
Yeah, 1,000 years in frost. What a delight.
It's made. Is it made of wood?
Yes.
And could I burn, like, cast a firebolt at it? Burn it down? Is it all stone around it?
Why does Joby look happy? Joby, are you happy?
You walk over, and what would you like to do?
We're on the top floor. There's nothing. Sorry. There's nothing else in the tower above us, right? We're on the top floor.
When you walked towards the tower, you saw 3 rows of windows, inferring that there was a 3rd floor. And you're on the 2nd.
But we see no stairs in this room, apparently.
Not in this room.
I've got a hunch. Maybe we got a little way up to the top through here. Here, stand back! I cast firebolt at the door.
Let's see if I can get this new thing to work.
That could be.
For the podcast, you should watch the stream. You should watch the stream podcast.
Oh!
See what that was all about.
Oh, shit.
Or catch up on back episodes on our website, thefamiliarsdnd.com.
Please, yes, familiarsdnd.com.
Tell a friend.
So, you cast Firebolt, it fires across the space, explodes on the door, and has no effect.
Oh, I was afraid of that.
It looks to be protected by some kind of arcane means. Moog, you were saying?
Moog is going to go eat some lunch in the corner and get a bucket of grains and a bucket of milk, and Moog is going to eat grains and milk. Yes,
Moog's on a vegetarian diet.
Yeah, Moog eat grains and milk for every meal. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Moog is deeply ambivalent about the quality of Moog's life.
Well, why did Moog husband not come back to find Moog? You know, if he really wanted to leave Groundhog, he could do it. You can't make anyone do anything they don't want to, especially in matters of love. So why did he need to go?
Moog starts weeping.
Worthy.
I just translated. Moog worked Moog's self up into this.
But then sometimes Moog thinks that maybe this is what Moog deserved. That the Lonely Tower is perfect because Moog deserves to be lonely.
Moog, your husband has been overpowered by a powered, mad, raving, giant, gluttonous, despot.
Yeah, I know that intellectually, but I don't know it.
Anybody who doesn't speak giant is just hearing like
that just takes time, Moog. That just takes time. I understand. It's frustrating. You must be very frustrated.
Yeah, they are hard to trust, you know.
It's quite a hearty slurp. Okay.
Can I go over and whisper to Worthy? Maybe you're meant to open this door.
I'm a little afraid of that.
I know. But hey, remember, we are all very familiars, or something that Cap said that was really moving. So,
I wasn't there.
You're among friends, Worthy. You're among friends.
I want to go knock on the door.
Okay.
Nice.
I go stand beside Worthy and put a paw on her shoulder for a moment.
I put my head on her shoulder for a second.
Oh, okay. Rooster, you're here too, yes? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Great, okay.
I wink at
Uncomfortable
Maxine
being
as well.
touched.
So,
Worthy's not used to intimacy.
Worthy, You walk up to the door.
God.
Take a breath. Knock. Listen. Nothing. You place your hand on the doorknob. It's cool, but inviting. And the door's locked.
Is there a keyhole?
There is no keyhole.
There's no keyhole. Dang.
Miss Dawn, maybe it is time for us to make up and you to try, because you're Elven. Also,
Everybody
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
For the room. Everyone's starting to kind of look around, trying to sort of figure this out for themselves. Let's see if everybody can
I'm gonna Tides of Chaos that.
I'm nuts.
Okay.
Dang it.
So we've
I rolled a
got
6.
Tristan with an 18, Thibodeau with a 6, Captain Chowder with an 8. We've got Rooster coming in with an 11. Okay. Tristan, make a history check with make a religion check with advantage. We've got a 13 and a 6.
15.
I'm gonna bend his luck.
Okay, what's that look like?
That's a D4 that I'm gonna add to it to the
Okay.
the better score.
Okay.
All right, 2.
Let's do.
So cool,
Up to a
Joey.
15.
Podcast, you gotta watch this. These graphics are awesome.
So, Justin, you're taking a look at these two statues, and you recognize one. These are old school gods of the Elven pantheon. And the first you recognize is the one that's right next to you. It is a tall figure holding in its hand a oh gosh, the word escapes me. It's a sundial, and something clicks, and you recognize it as, I think it's Labalis Enerith, who is the deity of longevity. And you're looking at the other one, and you don't recognize it, but then you feel these blue glowing tendrils wrap themselves around your body, and another one clicks. And this one is also a god from the Elven pantheon, old school and an archaic one. Shevarash, who is a demigod of vengeance. You walk over to the door and can see that there are, within the vined inlays, it's kind of like looking at like a magic eye. Like it's, you just, from those two connections that you made, you can see that these vines are forming the first letters of each of these gods' names.
I relay all that to the group.
How do you relay it? What do you say?
I say, I know these statues. They're elven gods of old. And then I sort of put my hands on the door, and I say, the vines, they spell out letters of their names.
And what are their names?
And then I speak the two names out loud.
The door opens.
What the fuck?
As the door opens, you see that there is a stone stairway spiraling upwards.
All right, great, good job, Justin.
Maybe you should go first.
I sort of look at the group and say, "Follow me."
Just lead the way, Scout. I follow.
I'm right behind.
Moog is gonna stay down here eating grains and milk.
Okay, great.
Enjoy your muesli, Moog. We'll report back. I'm terribly curious about it. I'm going up.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Your Moog best friend.
Man, that Moog is a relatable character.
Yeah, right. Who hasn't been there, huh? You guys head upstairs.
Ooh, buy our Valentine's cards.
Oh,
If you're feeling sad, just go to the merch.
is
Right,
Moog speaking
Annalise?
to you?
Yeah.
Are you a Moog looking for a crush? Buy
Check
our
out our
Valentine's card.
sweet familiars Valentines.
More information at www.thefamiliarsdnd.com for all your loves. Okay, back to the show.
Okay.
Sorry.
But they're like third grade
guys-
Valentines, and you could cut them out and
Really
put
great. You
Hershey's
should do
Kisses
it.
on them.
Yeah.
So you should do it
Here.
and give it to somebody.
Making sure that everybody's
You don't just have to like the familiars. You can like D&D. We have a lot of really clever dad-like puns, but like in a sexy way.
Ooh.
You walk up these spiral steps and meet another door at the top. Justin opens this door and this one is unlocked. And if it weren't for the layer of dust that has settled over this room, you would think that its most recent inhabitant had only just left. A fire crackles in the fireplace. The bed is made. There are bookshelves lined with tomes of all sizes and shapes. There is a small chest that strangely emits a white glow on top of one of the dressers. And there is a small orb glowing red on top of the opposite bookshelf. Thibodeau, you can't help but notice this impressive tome sitting on its own, open on a pedestal. There is a vanity here, 2 doors, both leading out to what you can now see was probably the small balcony that you had seen on approach. And on first glance, that's what you see.
I'd like to make a quick check to see how recently someone else has been in here. Just checking sort of, are there tracks in the dust?
Make a perception check.
Can I tell?
Wait. Nobody move. Can I scan for traps first? Or anything to be like triggered or?
Sure thing. I'll say, yeah, go ahead and make your own perception check.
17.
Okay. Justin, you don't see any tracks, at least not moving. You're listening to Captain Chatter right now. But you can get a pretty solid 360 of the room, and with this thick layer of dust, you actually think that tracks would be fairly obvious. And you can see that as you walked in, all of the only tracks that are here are the ones that you have kicked up. Captain, you put on your looking eyes and listening ears and take a gander around the room. And you look underneath these chairs you do a quick scan of any irregularities on the sides of the bookcases. Nothing. Feel fairly certain that there's no tripwires. There's no... nothing seems to be linked to anything else. Feels pretty solid.
All clear.
Have I ever seen anything like that red? Like, do I have any knowledge about what that red glowing orb might be?
Okay, head over.
I want to go check it out.
Worthy as you
Oh, I'm at
approach.
full health. I just noticed.
Thank
I'm
you.
down.
Thank you so much. What's your full health? Is it 40?
42.
Easily done.
Thank
And you know what we
you.
can do?
Nice.
That's just to show off our... Do I have it? Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I do. Check out the stream, y'all, if you listen on the podcast.
Word.
I mean, even
So-
if you're streaming, these noises are lovely. Like
Oh.
the audio experience, I've got to say, as someone performing.
Right?
Ear candy.
Okay, bye.
Real ear
It's
candy.
very immersive. Yeah, I like it.
As you head towards the bookshelf, the student in you comes alive, and there is a giddiness that begins to build in your heart, in your brain. But you stay focused and keep looking at this globe. It is akin to the globes that you have seen. So there's those 3 globes you saw walking in on the first floor that were glowing blue, and then there's this other globe that you saw on the second floor glowing orange, and this one is just a smaller version. It's the smallest version that you've seen of all of them. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Nuts.
Yeah.
6.
And nothing else is standing out.
Are any of the books, can I just scan the titles without touching them and see if any of the books seem like likely candidates to contain information about infernal cults?
A quick scan brings back a few eureka moments. You recognize some of the same books that you saw in Zephyrus's tower. If you were to sit here for a while and leaf through it, you feel fairly confident that you would continue to develop your knowledge of the history of cults relating to infernal teachings.
Is the fire just like logs burning? Is it like a regular old fire or a magic fire?
Cap, you take a walk over, and without any kind of check, you can see that it is a magic fire.
Okay. That's. Hello? I call out. Hello? Anyone here?
What's the book on the pedestal?
You turn around, and it looks to be, well, handwritten. You can't see it in the graphic, but there is a quill and a bottle of ink right next to it.
Can
What
I?
language?
Go ahead.
Elvish.
I can read Elvish.
Great. It is, you gonna read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. You take a look at the open pages. Are you touching it?
No.
This is a DM
We all know
stream.
what happened the last time we found
No,
a mysterious page.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Great answer,
Yeah.
Worthy.
Yeah.
I really want to, but I'm not doing it until I read it.
So you take a look, I'll say just at this page, and you can see the date. And you can see that it looks to be a journal. looks to be some kind of journal, because there's there at the top of the page, I'll say on the right, you could see that there's a date on top, and the date, I'll have to do the math. When we have people following us on Twitter tracking all of these things, they'll be able to do the math. But the math is from about 8,000 years ago. Okay. And you can just scanning down the page. This, what do you learn? You see that this looks to be the daily record of the person who inhabited this tower. And on this day, this person was detailing what their itinerary for the day was. And you start looking at what they had written, and it is a list of books, and you look back and you can see that the titles on the bookshelf match some of the titles that you see written down, and little notes sort of written in a kind of shorthand that look to be observations that they made about certain sects of infernal teachings. It's not written in infernal, it's written in Elvish. And make an insight check.
Come on, roll.
A 19. Worthy's got the hot dice today. I'll say that Elvish script is just beautiful to behold. And in order to write it requires actually its own study. The hand seems to get shaky the further down the page the hand goes.
And am I able to read any of the specific insights about the specific cults?
Sure, yes. You see that there are... Got my tome here.
Yes.
A few different cults.
Okay.
And they are all dedicated to different leaders of each of the levels of the Nine Hells. There is the cult of Beelzebub, the cult of Dispater, the cult of Fierna, the cult of Girion, the cult of Glacia, the cult of Levistus, the cult of Mammon, the cult of Mephistopheles, the cult of Zariel, and the cult of Asmodeus. And there are two cults that are underlined. One is the cult of Asmodeus, and one is the cult of Zariel.
Are there any notes written next to them?
Oh, sure.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Hey. Motherload.
So,
Freaking out.
let's see. It seems that this person wrote they learned the basics, we'll say. And under the cult of Asmodeus, Asmodeus demands the loyalty of all cultists who gain power and leadership in the cults of the Nine. So it seems like that was kind of like an overarching cult. And if you joined the cult, you would get powers. So you would actually get magical abilities for joining. And the magical ability you get here is... Let's see. Creature, you choose an ally. This is not very poetic, but at the start of each of the creature's turns, this creature can choose one ally it can see within 30 feet. The chosen ally loses 10 hit points, and you gain them.
Wait, what? This is a new spell? What is this?
No, this is something that if you joined the Cult of Asmodeus, you were given the ability to look at an ally and suck 10 points of 10 hit points from them and give them to yourself.
Damn.
And under Zariel,
Where do I sign up?
Yeah. Got an application?
Do you think whoever was in this wizard tower was trying to get access to some sort of dark powers? Maybe hacking the head off some elf statues and replacing it with demon skulls and trying to join the cult of Asmodeus?
Tieflings are different from demons, which are different from devils, first of all. And second of all, I'm trying to read.
Have at it. Can I investigate the desk?
Wait, but what does it say next to Zariel?
Across the room?
Yeah. So
I'm looking for ink and stuff to fill out my spell book.
Oh,
Thibodeau, you take a gander.
There's a quill and ink by the thing.
It's on the book.
It needs to be magic ink.
Yeah. Thibodeau, go ahead and roll an investigation check, and we'll get to that in a minute. Chowder, you're at the fire while we leave Worthy in deep suspense.
Doo-Doo is curled up by the fire. I'm just hanging out with Doo-Doo.
All right. Maxine is going to be up next to you, Chowder.
Maxine, you want to care to join me?
Maxine.
Yes. This fire, it doesn't seem to be emitting any kind of heat. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, I can't tell.
Oh, that's right.
I just love to look at it.
Captain, that reminds me. Are you a follower of the god of Gond? I believe. I'm not a follower myself, but do you know? Or I'm wondering, I hope it's not too forward to ask.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm a follower, between you and me, Maxine, of no god, really. I wouldn't say I'm particularly religious.
Oh, of course. Well, to each their own. Yes, I understand, especially the world as it is today. I can really understand that. I haven't met or interacted with, to be perfectly honest, many constructs, warforged. If I don't know exactly how to refer to you, even. But in Waterdeep, we have these beings called nimblewrights, and they are all, they're not made, I don't believe, at the Temple of Gond, but there are folk who know much about them. And if you ever were back in Waterdeep and we happened upon each other, I would be happy to bring you, and maybe we could see what they know.
Oh gosh, I would love to see that and observe a nimblewright. Any of those things, as much as I can learn. I'm a eternal pupil. I'd be very interested. Thank you, Maxine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. And there's this one story about this one nimblewright. It was last summer, and then Maxine goes on to tell you a story about nimblewrights from last summer. Worthy.
Mm-hmm.
The cult of Zariel.
Yeah.
It looks to be that they have a specific goal. Their specific goal is conquest. It's about glory in battle. It's about fame and fortune derived from military victory. And folk who have joined up with the cult of Zariel, when this creature hits with an attack that isn't a critical hit, it can turn the hit into a critical hit once a day. And
damn,
if the creature has a keen eye for seizing, this creature has a keen eye for seizing tactical advantage. Immediately after rolling initiative, it can choose itself and up to 3 allies it can see. If it isn't incapacitated, it can swap the initiative results of the chosen creatures among them.
Willing creatures, or not necessarily?
It doesn't say willing. I don't think any of these things. Yeah, when it comes to devils, it's not a lot of consent when it comes to these types of deals.
Are there any windows I can see out of?
Yes, there are. Justin, you are looking at the bed, and you can see that there are 2 windows directly behind the bed that look out onto the surrounding area. Would you like to?
I want to
take a
just,
look and see
while
what you
everybody's
see?
doing that, take a look out the window and just see if I can see anything going on.
Make a perception check.
Great.
16.
And I would add, and because I'm looking at my favored terrain, I would add my proficiency bonus to that again.
which I think is a 3. Okay, great. So you get, it says a 19. Okay.
5 actually, but yeah.
Your proficiency bonus?
5 for perception.
Oh, great. That's your perception. That's your perception modifier. And if you're just adding your proficiency bonus, I believe it's 3.
I'll take it 3. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. That's right. You'll take it. Yeah, thank you. And we'll double check. Internet, tell me if I'm wrong. That being said, a 19, solid roll. Taking a look out the window, and instead of making you roll again with disadvantage, it's just tough to see. The rain is really starting to come down, and you can see a fair distance, and you're looking at the you know this land well, and you're looking for any telltale signs of movement, especially large movement. And you seem pretty good for the moment, at least looking at this part of the tower. I'll say that you take a gander at the other windows that are in this room, and feel fairly certain at this moment that you're not being surrounded by hill giants.
And the rain is increasing rather than decreasing.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct.
Thanks.
All right. Worthy, as you are either taking real notes or vigorous mental notes, you've been looking at this one page on one side, and you glance finally at the other page, and you see that they signed their name at the end of the entry prior. And you read Anaxia Spirit Star.
What did the entry say that they signed, that Anaxia signed?
So this one is much more of a missive. And you read, my studies have become tedious. I keep reading the same information over and over with no sense of making any kind of headway. I am getting less and less sleep each night. I have begun to believe that I am not alone in this tower. And yet, and you can see that this is a very shaky hand writing the end of this entry. Even though I do not feel alone, I do not feel afraid. It has been so long since I have seen anyone. It has been so long since I was exiled. That's enough for tonight. Love, Anaxia Spirit Star.
Destin says, "You find anything interesting in there?"
Yes. Whoever wrote in this book was making a study of infernal cults. Doesn't say why, but it seemed to be consuming her. And she was here in exile. And she didn't think she was alone in the tower.
Okay. Is that something that could get a...
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
hold on. Let me investigate first.
12.
7.
9.
Ugh. Uh-oh. Come on,
5.
Justin.
Can we make one for Rooster?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes,
does Rooster roll? What's Rooster's
Let's see.
bonus?
I don't have it up. I don't know if
I can maybe have her character sheet up.
That'd be
Sorry,
great.
Rooster's character sheet up. Let me see. Does that work?
I don't remember exactly what they.
What is this?
You guys begin
Investigation? Investigation gets plus 0, so I'll just do a 20 for Rooster.
Great.
Rooster rolled a 20. Nah,
Rooster rolls a 20. What? Rooster rolls a 20. Okay. So,
All right. So, playing Rooster.
you guys, there's a bit of goosebumps that have made their way onto all of your skin. Chowder, you just make do with what you can. And this has inspired everyone to just start looking around. Thibodeau, you start looking through the vanity. And the first drawer you pull open, you find this beautiful, almost shimmering white paper that you recognize as paper that would be able to transcribe magical abilities. And next to it, a blue and green and pink quill and a bottle of ink. So I'll say that you find about 50 sheets of paper.
Sweet. Yeah, I take it.
Great. Okay, so you can put that into your bag. And
Any diamonds or anything of that sort in this room?
I mean,
Other magical
yes, I'm going to say
components?
that you're not the one that finds it. I'll say that looking around, you do see that there are a few books on the bookshelf that looked to contain the workings of spells. So you can start to look through those, and I'll let you know what those are in just a minute. Everyone else rolling pretty low. Justin, you got that 16 was for when you were looking around, I believe, which got bumped
Yeah.
up to a 19. Yeah, okay.
Mine was a 5 on this one.
So, Rooster, I'm going to say that Rooster sees everyone looking around and is just a bit bored, to be perfectly honest. And just get this up here. Is just looking for a place to sort of like rest against a wall, and knocks into one of the bookshelves.
Ooh,
And
easy, Rooster.
Worthy, it's the one you're looking at, yes. And you immediately sort of try to put your hands on a few of the books, and in doing so, this one sheet of paper falls out on the ground.
Oh.
And first you sort of freak out, but Rooster just picks it up. And it's a map. And what you see is a very basic map of the Sword Coast. You recognize cities like Neverwinter and Tribor, Yartar, right? And Longsaddle, Mirabar. But then there are all of these other X's that you don't necessarily recognize. Flint Rock, Grandfather Tree, Stone Stand, One Stone, Bjorn's Well, Great Worm Cavern, Raven Rock. And this strange X, you are here.
I want...
This writing is giant?
I'll say Rooster picked it up. I think Rooster speaks giant.
No.
And no. So I forget who does. A few of you do speak
I
giant.
do.
I do.
Great. So you take a look at it, Worthy, and the letters are that we all can read. Those are written in Elvish.
Mm-hmm.
This you don't understand, even though you speak giant.
No.
Where are we on the map?
Well, Justin, you take a look over, and you see that this map is north of where you guys are.
We're not covered on there.
Just to give you guys, a bit of a here. We can take a look at our
Kind
map.
of take the map from Rooster, and I'm holding it out in front of me. Can I see anything about the map that would tell me its provenance? Who could have made it, or where it could have come from? Yeah.
It looks to be written in the same hand. It looks to be sort of copied somehow by Anaxia. So let me get this here. Okay, look at it this way. So you can see that the map is about the north. Tribor, Neverwinter, Long Saddle, Everland. Right. We can take a look at this now.
I'm gonna look around the room for portals.
And Justin, you know the lay of the land, more or less. This carry any significance to you? This slice of Sword Coast?
DM, history check.
On this
That'd
map?
be right. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say
Or-
make a choice between a history check or a nature check.
Nature check.
Okay.
19.
So, and I'm so sorry, I was looking at something else. Can you just remind me of what Chowder's question was?
Do I recognize
Specifically.
anything of significance about this?
Of like the section of
Geographically.
Faerun or the Sword Coast or whatever that this is on this map.
Gosh, with a 19?
Yeah, the 19. Very high.
I damn well better.
You recognize this. The grandfather tree. In your travels through the high forest, you know that this is a place of deep holiness. And that deep within the high forest, there's an oak tree of immense size. Its base must be 50 feet in diameter, and its crown is soaring to a height of above 350 feet. And around this ancient tree, there are these like two rings of raised earth. And there are smaller oak trees that reside sort of beneath it, you know, reminiscent of a fairy circle of redwoods. And you know about this because in your experience during the time of the tyranny of dragons, you fought alongside certain clans of barbarians. And the grandfather tree was a spot that was fought over between barbarians and the high elves of the high forest as to who had religious rights over this site. So it's one of these sites that was seen as filled with religious significance for not only the high elves, but for also certain clans of barbarians. And so it has seen its share of violence, and it's an area of tenseness.
And that tree is in the high forest, or no? The grandfather tree on the map.
Northern
Yes.
high forest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Northern high forest, right? All right.
I look at the map and I say, but you are here. That doesn't make any sense. You are here.
Yeah, where is there?
That looks to be up in the spine of the world.
Is there anything in this room that could be like a portal to another place? I'd like to check the bookshelves, the cabinet, the fireplace.
It's a whole tower portal. How long has this thing been here? As long as you
At
remember.
least thousands of years, judging by the date in this journal.
Well, that doesn't mean the tower's been here the entire time. We ourselves traveled hundreds of miles in a floating tower.
DM, has this tower been here as long as Justin has been walking these lands? Yes.
Yes.
It's been here at least as long as I've been here.
Couple hundred years.
What's in the I want to take a look in this like trunk also that's glowing on the wall over here.
Yes. So as you approach this trunk, you feel bathed in light. And it's small. It's probably about the size of, I'll say probably maybe 2 feet by a foot, and 8 or 9 inches tall. But it's simple. It's got metal work around the side that looks to be steel, iron, something, and very simply made. Probably some kind of oak. Little lock on the front of it.
Can I try to pop the lock on it?
Yeah, sure.
Or I didn't see a key anywhere, right? Or anywhere a key might have been.
Check that you had. No, you have not found a key. You had a 12 before. No, you didn't find a key. But you can try to pop your thieves' tools.
Do I have thieves' tools?
Oh, you trying to crack a lock there, Thibodeau? Here.
Yeah,
move out of the way. I take my water skin and pour it in the lock and shape water to freeze it to break the lock.
Hey. All right. So, do I have a thing for that? Maybe. Let's see.
Sure.
Well, it happened over there. Sure, right? Why not, right? Try that again. Let's see. So you come over here and. Oh, it's still happening over there. Okay. Anyway. So anyway, this cool sound, right? And you see the water go in and pop it.
You're gonna have to teach me how to do that.
Well, you see, when water freezes, it expands. The molecules slow down. I'll tell you later. Why don't you do the honors, Thibodeau?
Thanks, Captain. And I open the box.
Let's see what's in the box. Worthy. As you're in the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And when Rooster knocked against the bookshelf, you sort of instinctually reached out and touched the books, and like nothing bad happened. And so that sort of made you a little bit braver, and you've started to kind of leaf through some of the pages to try to learn more about what you can, at least while everyone else is busy. But there's this, you did happen to sort of look over as Chowder was trying to pop the lock and successfully did, and then during his explanation of how the expansion of water works, you hear the click open of a chest And then everything goes weirdly quiet. And a voice comes to you. It's almost a whisper. And in an intimate, warm, even loving way, you hear someone say to you, "You've done it. You've finally done it. Take a look. Go see. And put us back together." Cap, Thibodeau, you are looking into this chest and see parchment wrapped in a simple ribbon. Couple of pages.
What?
Any writing on it?
No, it's wrapped up.
Oh.
Looks like scrolls.
I'm going to take it over to the bed and dump it out on the bed.
Great. You head on over, and Maxine is coming alongside you.
Let's see what we got here.
And you dump it out, and it's just a pretty simple rolled up parchment. Looks old, but part of you was a little worried that as you dumped it out, that it might have been so old. Sort of, as you're doing it, you're like, "Oh no, did I?" And because maybe it was just going to literally disintegrate into nothing, and it lands. Not even a piece seems to fall off of it. And then you look inside, and this simple chest on the inside seems to be lined with crushed red velvet.
I pull my glove off and I untie the ribbon on the parchment with my mage hand.
Great. The ribbon comes untied, and the scroll opens.
Never know with these magic magic papers.
Sure.
Do I have an impulse about what direction in the room the voice wanted me to go see?
You're pretty interested in what Thibodeau's looking at.
I want to go look at the pages with them.
Okay. So.
And do I see any writing on them now?
You do see writing. You take a look, and what languages do you speak, Thibodeau?
Common and Elvish.
This one doesn't seem to ring a bell. It's looks like almost scratched out.
Does it look like that writing on Destiny's Door?
Make a history check.
Is it draconic?
It's not
or
draconic.
Orc or goblin?
Can I read it?
No.
I rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8. You can't really place it.
I look over at Worthy and notice that she's like hovering right next to me. I said, "I thought you were reading the book over there."
I can read what I like. No.
You approach and recognize it to be written in Infernal. What are you doing?
I sort of put my arms out and I say, take a step back. And I want to read the page.
Worthy. You look down and the words you immediately recognize as infernal. And as you look,
Oh no.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God.
Okay.
How many pages are there?
Ooh. 25 podcast.
25.
Holy fuck! I'm literally shaking. I'm like,
Not today, Asmodeus. Not today.
Wow.
So, let me pull up my notes here. You take a look down, and I mean, everything around you just disappears. There is no tower, there are no people. It is you and this page. As this voice comes back to you and just says, yes. Yes. See. Read. And the first word that jumps out is your name. Right at the top. And a tear just seems to just pop out of your eye, completely unbidden. And as we do, it sort of, you recognize it immediately as a letter. And you just give this quick scan, and at the bottom, you are just looking for the name. And it says, Mortarch, read. And you begin to read, and it says, Worthy, you were always my favorite student, but more importantly, you were my most treasured companion. I want you to know that whatever it is you seek, I knew from the first moment that I pulled you out of that terrible situation that you were destined for great things. Trust yourself. And trust those small voices in your head that come only in a whisper. Those whispers should be listened to. And you shouldn't believe anyone else. Come find me. I'm safe. And there's another paragraph, but you see the words begin to spin. And you feel a heat coming from them. And you feel yourself beginning to be sucked down into this page, and at the last moment with the 25, you pull yourself out.
Worthy, are you all right? Worthy.
With the mage hand, I roll this scroll back up.
That's mine. That
No.
belongs to me. It was
No.
written for me.
No.
Well, hang.
You give that to me right now. And I open up my bag of holding and I hold it open. That is mine.
And the scroll just goes 30 feet, or as far up into the air as possible.
You all
I don't know
notice
how
that
tall the
this
ceilings are.
actually they're very high, and the ceiling above you raises to a point. It looks to be the underside of the roof that you'd seen. That was a circular roof that raised in a cone shape.
Does that page belong to you, or does it belong to the Book of Vile Darkness? Because it looks like we almost lost you there, Worthy.
I'm carrying one. I can carry two. It was left for me by Mortark Reed.
Whatever
He's
was
alive.
on that page, you can't believe it. That book wants to use you.
Thibodeau. And as I'm saying this, I cast Thaumaturgy so that the ground begins to just shake. Give me that page. Now. I'm not going to do anything with it. But I should be the one to carry it. And I think we can both agree that it would be irresponsible to leave something from the Book of Vile Darkness lying around.
What was that?
All right. And the mage hand takes the page and drops it into the bag of holding.
Okay.
I close the bag of holding, and the tremors subside.
I think Thibodeau's right, Worthy. Please be very, very careful with that. You can't trust what's on there.
I'm not a child.
All right, I'm just looking
You
out
don't
for
think I can feel something stirring and something coming. And you don't think that I've been trying to sort it out ever since we left Nightstone, since before then. Who are you to lecture me?
I'm not lecturing you, and I'm not denying any of that. I just want you to be a little I just saw right in front of me, just a moment ago, Worthy, almost losing you. First time you looked at that page. I just want you to be careful and know that it's dangerous and seductive. That's all.
Captain's right. We've seen what that book does to people.
Is there any other corner in the room that looks like we haven't? I don't know.
want to turn around.
I'm starting to get the creeps in here. Do we have any more business in here, fam?
Did we find any diamonds?
With Rooster did.
Yeah, sweet.
And I will
How many?
Roll on the requisite table and let you know that how much money you guys got.
No, before we leave, I whip out my wand of magic detection. Mm-hmm. I forgot about this old thing. This would have come in handy about an hour ago. Can I cast detect magic? Could that cover the room to see if there's like magic thrumming from anywhere else that we haven't?
Let me just take my cards out here and look.
Ooh,
up
can't hear
three wand of magic detection. You get.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
three... Oh, sorry. 3 charges.
There you go.
Hello. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While holding it, you can expend a charge, action to cast detect magic spell from it. I'm gonna just go ahead and say yes, and if it's completely wrong, you
see the presence
cast
of magic within 30 feet.
it. Okay.
You can sense
So,
magic this way.
You sense
then
the
you can-
fire is magic. You sense that there was a bit of aesthetic magic that was making that white glow happen around the chest. And you sense that there is a bit of magic in the red glowing globe here. Is there anything else that you see or find?
Is that red glowing globe like fixed there? Can we take it?
Ooh, yeah.
Thibodeau, you go look over and you see that it's just in this little stand. You wanna pick it up, you
If it isn't bolted down.
Maybe it's like black light. We can pass it over the page and see if anyone jizzed on it.
Good God, look at all the semen in this hotel room.
Thibodeau, do you take it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you take it and you're putting it in the bag of holding?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so you take that?
Yeah.
Okay. Pop it in the bag of holding. Okay. And that's it.
Okay.
Was there anything coming off the book that was on the pedestal? I'm sorry, I forget.
No.
No. Okay.
Nope. Okay. You guys good? There's going to be some spells that you found in these pages, and we can talk more about the things that you found in the books. But if you guys want to stay up here, you can, or you can go back downstairs to Moog.
I want to pick up that journal that I was reading.
Okay. It's yours.
I say to the group, rain's getting worse. I don't think it'll be good to travel today. Perhaps we take a short rest here, push on in the evening if it's stopped.
Do you think that the horde is on the move also?
Well, they're carrying... They've got sheep with them, and they've got carts of ale, so... If they're in the same rainstorm and getting the same mud that we are, they're probably stuck as well.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see if it lets up.
Yeah. All right, we'll repose till the weather changes, and we'll reassess.
Are you guys going to stay up here, or are you guys going to go back downstairs?
I'd like to go downstairs. I don't like this room.
Okay.
I think we'd be safer with Moog.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys all head downstairs.
I miss Moog.
But I snagged that journal, too.
Yes.
Just, I have it. Just so everyone knows.
You got it.
I have a book.
That's the book on the pedestal?
Yeah.
On the lectern or whatever? Okay.
Yeah.
Sticky fingers there, eh, Worthy?
Well,
Yes,
when in
it's contagious.
Rome, when in Daggerford, do
You
as the
guys
Daggerfordians
come
do.
down stairs and exit through the door, and the orange glow meets you upon exiting, and you hear the loud snores of Moog. And it's Rooster who closes the door a little bit louder than they meant to, and that wakes Moog up.
And you see Moog's eyeball, huge eyeball open, and her pupil just just contract in the light, and she stands up with her huge mass and looks at you and lets out a deafening roar. Like a lion and a fucking dinosaur, and she says, "Who trespasses on Moog's tower?"
And that's where we're going to end it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been
And
so
she holds up
wonderful
a
having you
fucking
here.
boulder.
Oh, no!
Moog friends!
And
We're your best friends!
we're going to see
We're
how
just
long
covered in
a hill
oatmeal.
giant's memory lasts. It's been really, what a great longer session. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love doing this, and we love doing it for you. And so, as per usual, our intent is all for your delight. And until next week, we're the Familiars. Tell a friend, tell your parents, tell your kids. We'll see you then.
Not your
All
kids. We're not.
Not your kids.
The young ones.
Explicit. Not the young
Over
ones, but the older
14.
ones.
Over 14.
Yeah. Tell your tweens.
Peace out, guys. Yeah.